can you imagine if this was like this? If this was 1995 or going into early 2000s, when you needed a record label, you needed a gatekeeper because they had to pay for the studio, which nowadays we just do in the house. Whereas back then, it was like, back then it would be like $2,000 a day for a studio, let alone the engineer, the producer and everything else. You might be there for a month or 2 months. Then after that, we've got to go and print 10,000 CDs or 100,000 CDs or 1,000,000 CDs. Then after that, we've got to go and buy a bunch of lorries and get them to take all of this stuff to the distribution network. You're talking like millions and millions of dollars just to get a CD in a shop. And so with all of that in mind, nowadays it's like, I just made it in the bedroom and I've just uploaded it via DistroKid onto Spotify and jobs are good. And so, now you've got sort of what used to cost millions and millions of dollars in PR and advertising can now potentially be done for free. And the reason why I say that, because this sounds like something that we could have done for years. The problem is the last couple of years, the organic reach of Facebook and Instagram has been declining more and more and more. And it's only been the last 12 months. In fact, I'd say the last 6, but the last 12 months where we've got this, the two worlds have combined, which is organic reach from TikTok and Reels, but TikTok. At the same time, it's mainstream enough that the platform isn't too cheesy or too awkward to be on, if that makes sense. So artists were coming to me, a year and a half, 2 years ago and saying, should I be on TikTok? And I was like, I want to say yes, but I'm also, every time I go on TikTok, it's just children dancing. And so many artists didn't feel comfortable being on that platform. Well, that's gone away. And we're in this beautiful time of organic reach on a platform that is acceptable to promote music on. And I don't know how long that's going to be around for, but the question is, how do you do that in a consumption habit, or how do we do that in a way that the person watching will enjoy? How can I make something that promotes my song in 10 seconds via a video that someone can literally use their little finger and just go, there you go, there you are, there you're gone. There you are, there you're gone. That's and so, crazy. The big question is how do I use that 10 seconds to grab someone's attention for long enough that they say, hey, this is good. I'm going to check this out. Let me come on into your TikTok, or let me scroll across and then come into Spotify and listen.
What do you think about LinkedIn as an option?
I think LinkedIn is a different. I don't think it's the best option for promoting music as such. But I think it's a really good option for networking and meeting people and befriending people who can push your music. So, for example, if I went on LinkedIn and I said, hey, I've got a new song out, a lot of people would be like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the consumption. Yeah, it feels off. But let's say I was listening to some kind of acoustic chilled song. I had an acoustic chilled song. Instead of going and playing that song or trying to get that song played on LinkedIn, what I could do is I could go on LinkedIn, I could do a search for chill DJs or chilled radio DJs or online radio DJs. I can find those people and I can go across to LinkedIn and I can find out who they are and I can drop them a line. So, all of a sudden the people are there, they're just they're in a different headspace. So they're not there saying, please let me listen to your music on LinkedIn.